Okay, we're gonna try to make this recording really quickly. It's early in the morning, not so early. I want to say Shavua Tov, and it's gonna be Shabbat soon. So when Shabbat comes, Shabbat Shalom. It's gonna be Shabbat tomorrow. Okay, now we've heard a lot of things. We've heard lots of things from people. People sit and the devil tries to attack even more, and we're not the devil. We're the good people. We're God's holy people. So I just want to remind that to you again. Also, to make our good people feel better, the good people know that we're good and we're God's people. Okay, we did the formula again. All right. So first of all, it's not that simple. The scientists, the not so the lower level scientists, like in a classroom, they didn't want to hear the things that we had to say. They just sit and but the other scientists, the scientists that wanted to prove that God exists, he listened to us. Except he didn't listen to God when God said, "Don't use a reactor again." After God particle was proven, because if something would happen if he did, it's not a time machine. But him and his partner used that, and they were hurt. They were young. This is, I can still remember what color shirt he was wearing when that happened. How they looked. They were young, and they died because they didn't listen to God. Sort of like how we told you, like Aaron's two sons did something that God said not to do, and they died. So we just let you know too. They'll come back, and so we just let you know too. But again, so because there's a resurrection, 8 is the number for resurrection. And you can understand that now that we had our police sting, our beloved Uncle Dad that was dying in the back of the house, he kept saying number 8, number 8, number 8, and then and things, and because he was in a lot of pain, he was shot, and he was dying. He was trying to convey to us what God wanted him to say to us, and about the police sting, everything, because we were really quite young, and then when the rabbis saw the formula and the numbers that came out, the holy numbers, they understood that it was when we were supposed to have the police sting. So because our dad kept saying that, they said, and so he couldn't really talk very much because he was going then, and so now you understand this for the resurrection and rejuvenation has to do with God, and the higher level scientists and even probably people not so high now understand a little bit. So now when you calculate the number, multiply 2 billion by 2.2 billion, you come up with the numbers that we told you. We break the numbers down and we show you that it's holy. Okay, but because God made heaven and earth, God made everything. It's just that, and the devil tried to interfere and tried to match God, and God destroyed the devil, and God destroyed everything that sided with the devil and all the things that mixed with the fallen things. Okay, we talked about those things, so you understand that. So now the simple calculator can take 30 zeros, okay, plus numbers attached to the zeros. It can give me an answer in 15 zeros plus the answer if that's the case, but it doesn't. Okay, so they sort of try to make things kind of like more complicated, but it's not. And these calculators came from the angels who brought us other things. Okay, so you now understand that the elements mean other things, like tangent would be like Tanakh and Torah, T-A-N, Tanakh and Torah. That has to do with God. Cosmos, C-O-S, is not the what you think as well. It's also cosmos. It has to do with God. And so it's just that, and the E it has to do with eternity, or element, or the other. What we told you, how it means everlasting life, or not that. So basically, if you go the wrong way. So now we take the same number and we do the same thing, but we use the other elements. And so we use the cosmos element when we take those two numbers, 2 billion plus 2.2 billion, and we use cosmos. What we say is the cosmos. The COS stands for cosmos. So basically, that's it. And so if we do that, we come up with the number that ends with eternity and Mosaic law. And so the actual number, when it's broken down, all those numbers that you see, it comes out negative, kind of a large number, equals Mosaic law, because it's not going to be that. And then when you combine all those numbers, it comes out to 1. So you see, it's always going to be God, and it's always going to be Mosaic law. So that's what we're trying to tell you here. It's not anything about anything else but that, because God made heaven and earth and land and sea and the calculators too. So the simple element comes out as 1, even though you multiply 2.2 billion light years by 2 billion, and you come up with the number 1, the answer. God is number 1. God is God knows the end and the beginning, and that's what we come up with. God is number one. God is foremost, and before everything else, God um, would exist even if there were no men or people on the planet. We're going to tell you why we came up with that too, because we multiplied again by the sin element, because the sin, sin, actually can also be abbreviated for sin. Okay, so you multiply that, or not multiply that, but you use the sin element. So you take the two same numbers, 2 billion, by the sin element, 2.2 billion light years, and you're going to come up with no humans. You're going to come up with nothing, and you're going to come up with God. Because it said, a Mosaic law is for all time, and our beloved God, who's God alone, is all time. The number actually comes out as number one. All those numbers, 2.2 billion plus 2.2 billion light years, with the sin element, and 2 billion together. And if you have sin, you're not going to have any humans, but you're always going to have God. And the answer would be error, because if you did not follow God, and you did not have Mosaic law that God gave for us to follow, and to follow our God, there would be a terrible error. But there would always be God, and all the humans would disappear, and everything else. The calculator gave that answer. This is a God particle, and we want to let you know that actually those elements stand for other things. It's intricate, and it's quite developed, and only certain people can do it, like us. And the angels brought those things to help mankind with the help of our beloved God, who's God alone. Okay, so we'll talk to you as soon as we can, and try to be careful, safe, and alert, and have a try to have a most wonderful rest of the day. We'll talk to you and write to you so we can. We'll write it so we can explain to you. Maybe we'll write it so we can explain to you what it looks like, and this is it. So not stupid, and it looks like it's more, and it is more, because those elements actually stand for other things, not just the simple things in your trigonometry. They're actually quite evolved, and they're from heaven above. Okay, so we'll talk to you as soon as we can. Try to be careful, safe, and alert. And Shabbat Shalom when it comes.